Okay, so I'm going to show you how to add a new participant resident through my workflows. So I'm going to click start. And this will take you through everything that needs to be done. These right here are just duplicate checks, so it makes sure that you don't add a person with the same name and birth date. So if you add someone with the same name, first and last name, then it will also check to make sure that the birth dates are different. And you have to add an address. And you have to add a primary cell phone number, cell phone landline. Race. Disability and military status you don't need to worry about because we collect that information somewhere else. Higher education. All the ones that have asterisks by them are what HUD is checking, so that will be on our HUD report. Okay, so all of my areas are checked. The household, don't enter that through the workflow because it will kick you out and then you'll have to start all over again. Go back into my workflow and then click on the workflow that you started and start from there on. So it's just easier just to click save and next. And then when you're completely done with the workflow, then you can go back in and add household ID. I just did other because Escalante 1 doesn't go up to 34, but let's put participant and head of household, and then just going to go through income. If they have Medicare and Medicaid and they have Advantage plans, then that would be Part C. But they have to have A, B to have C. And these we don't do in Utah, but HUD requires that we report on these. And then yearly. They have received retirement or veterans benefits. The temporary assistance for needy families is always going to be NA because we don't deal with families, so that doesn't apply, but it still needs to be put on the HUD report, so that will always be NA. And then click Store Linked Record, and then you're going to go to Individual Assessment. Let's just say that he or she had an exam within the last year. And also dentist. I've seen a dentist in the last 12 months. We just moved in, so there's no eviction prevention. And if behaviors that you notice, and this is, you know, if you know that the resident's emotional pattern is lifelong or recent, or if they are receiving professional help or counseling, we can't ask that. But if they divulge that information to you, then you can put it there. Acknowledging that they need assistance with their emotional state or even substance abuse. This, if the resident has disclosed to you this, they have a problem with substance abuse or substance use, then you can mark that. We just can't ask that. And then if they have transportation, they need transportation, and if transportation adequately meets the resident's needs. And if it doesn't, then you can mark that it keeps them from medical appointments or getting medications, or yes, it keeps them from getting their needs or work, or you can say no, it doesn't affect any of that, or the resident refused. Mark that. And then you can mark as far as mental functioning, clothing, grooming, alcohol or drugs, and sign of poor judgment, and then click store new record, and then you can do facility preference in case of emergency. You can do clinic, funeral home, hospice, hospital, nursing home, rehab, and then just put the name of the facility there. So I'm going to click out of that because I'm not going to do that. And then this is life planning, living will. If they have a power of attorney, then it will list the name of the power of attorney, durable power of attorney for medical. If they have advance directive or POLS, legal guardian pay, life insurance, funeral arrangements, all of this that you can put there if you know that information. Once you're done with all of those, then you can hit save and next. So the next is the IDLs, and we're going to click what program you're in. It shows you what program you're in, so just keep it that way, because if you go into here and start messing with adding and removing properties, then it messes up your assessments on what property they're linked to. And then if the resident has indicated a disability as defined by ADA, then you can click yes. And then it will say if it's impaired physically, including mobility and sensory impairments. Impairment is primary and cognitive, including learning and memory, or impaired both in physical and mental, or any information not collected, individual refused, or individual doesn't know. So just click no right there. And then we're going to go and click on add new ADL. So I put that this resident is at risk. So that means this resident has 1 to 2 ADLs. Applied for personal care services. So this is if they have home health, hospice, any type of services, like the Salt Lake County Aging and Adult Services that provides these services, then you can mark this. So if you say approved, they do receive personal care services through some type of organization. Then you can put adult personal assistance service funding code. How is that funded? Is it funded through the Salt Lake County Aging Adult Services? You put government resources. Or is it private pay, or is it done through family member or friends or Medicaid? So I'm going to put no here for now. And then status. Is it pending in progress? Was the service denied? Is family providing it? Or did you provide a reference? Services not provided, resident refused, services not available, or previously in place or waiting list. So usually if you do no, then you can mark previously in place. These adaptive devices are optional for you. It's a good idea